At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Ashley Williams is my sunshine queen.
Yeah.
I will fight you, not you, Megan, but I will fight anyone listening if they're even going to bring any negativity to Ashley Williams.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we're back with new movies from Hallmark, and today we're discussing To Barcelona with Love, which originally aired on Saturday, June 7th, 2025, and you can stream it on the Hallmark Plus app. When you're listening to this, hop on over to Instagram and follow us. We are Girls Gone Hallmark.
If you are on Facebook and are looking for a Hallmark-centric Facebook group to talk about movies or talk about our podcast or talk about whatever related to Hallmark, come join us, Girls Gone Hallmark, in Facebook groups.
You know, I wanted to do a little cross promotion here real quick. Just listen up, people. If you like shows outside of the Hallmark universe, like maybe reality TV, like maybe Bravo, we recently launched a brand new podcast. It's called Last to the Party, and it's a little bit of a switcheroo of the Girls Gone Hallmark format in that over there, Wendy's the expert and I'm the newbie. So we are throwing it back to Summer House Season 1, doing a rewatch over there. We'd love to have you join us. The first couple of episodes have already dropped, and new episodes of that podcast, Last to the Party, drop on Fridays. Let's talk To Barcelona with Love with a synopsis.
Erica, an American translator, secretly revises a novel set in Barcelona. Everything is fine until bookstore owner Nico invites the credited author, Anna, to the city for a book signing.
Even though after the airing of this movie, the news and notes information is still pretty light, we got some things to tell you, starting with Ron Oliver directed To Barcelona with Love. Ron has 91 directing credits and is known for directing all 3 of the Groomsmen movies, as well as The Wedding Veil Journey and several Picture Perfect Mysteries movies.
Julie Sherman Wolfe wrote the screenplay for this movie, as well as its sequel, To Barcelona Forever, airing next week. Julie is one of Hallmark's best writers, having penned movies like Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story, Holiday Hotline, Field Day, and so many more.
Ashley Williams and Alison Sweeney share top billing, but it appears Sweeney takes the lead role in this chapter of the story. Allie Sweeney stars as Erica. We saw her earlier this year in Reality Bites, a Hannah Swenson mystery. She will return to the role of Hannah in 2 upcoming movies, A Pie to Die For and Cooked to Death. Ashley Williams stars as Anna. Not only did Ashley star in 2 Hallmark movies last year, she also hosted the Hallmark Plus dating series Small Town Setup. She recently added another directorial credit to her resume with an episode of The Rookie on ABC. Alejandro Tous plays Nico. He's a Spanish actor and is best known for his role as Ramon in La Corrida Blanca, where he has appeared in 99 episodes of the drama series. Javier Santos plays Mateo, Erica's bestie. This is Javier's first movie role per his Instagram. Unfortunately, he is not credited on IMDb, and there are multiple Javier Santoses on IMDb, so I don't know what his other credits are.
Interesting. Full newbie, huh?
New to the movie scene, his Instagram does show some stage productions, like he was in a Spanish language production of Matilda, and I don't know what other projects he's done.
Got it. Both movies were filmed on location in and around Barcelona earlier this year. Allie and Ashley launched a podcast to share the process of making these movies with fans. It's called Mi Amor, and 2 episodes are available now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Let's take a quick break and come right back with our first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what's your first impression of To Barcelona with Love?
Well, look, I also thought that by now I would be arranging hydrangeas in a Hampton kitchen and wearing linen pants.
Where's my Nancy Meyers moment, y'all? Mine is I'm going to need some of the IMDb reviewers to STFU, please.
I'm so glad you mentioned it. We are going to talk about it. It's in my Did You See That?
Y'all messed with the wrong two ladies with those reviews is all I got to say. Speaking of promoting other projects, check out midlifebestie.com.
Who you calling old? I'm fired up. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Oh, it's like all cap. I could just do an entire episode. Sit down and listen, y'all. Let's talk about what we liked.
Okay, for me, can I tell you, I'm sure this might be the same for you, but I love a co-lead movie with two Hallmark heavyweight actresses.
Totally.
I mean, we get so many where like you have your lead female and like a sidekick. I just love that we have two queens like Ashley Williams and Alison Sweeney. They are sharing the screen. I just love it so very much.
Yeah, I've got some quibbles with the story and some ways that this movie played out, but just watching the two of them on screen together was so fun. And I know we're going to get the secondary movie, but they really did share the screen in this movie. You have to figure out whose movie it is, like who's taking the lead role in this movie, because they're the focus. And you and I talk so much about like, we don't really need a love story. Like the love story here is fine, but I'm more invested in these two. And I love the way Julie Sherman Wolfe brought their friendship to life.
Well, I'm glad you said that because my next like is that I am loving a story based on friendship and the romance feels secondary. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like a lot of romance to it, but I just love that we have a story that is about, well, it's not fully about, but it's heavily leans into female friendship. And I find that so refreshing. We don't get enough stories like that. And I know I have said it for a really long time, but like I feel the Hallmark audience is likely made up of a lot of women, and it doesn't all have to be about romance. Mm-hmm. There are other relationships to explore, and I'm glad they did it here. Like I said, there was still a heavy hand in the romance, but for me, I thought the magic was their friendship.
Absolutely. Speaking of magic, one thing I really liked about this movie is the immersive Spanish Barcelona experience.
Me too.
I found it very layered. I've never been to Barcelona, so I'm not speaking as someone who's like, oh, it's one of my favorite places in the world. But they use so many elements to present that experience, like the scenery, some of the main attractions that I'm not going to try to pronounce, the food, the San Jordi Day details. I did read some criticism of Ali Sweeney's Spanish, and I would just like to say I think she did fine. Also, she spoke Spanish prior to this movie. I read a blurb about how this movie came to be, and it was literally Ashley Williams having the idea for like, I wish I could write a book. The only way I could ever write a book is if I wrote it and someone translated it and changed the story. How do I make that happen? And then she met with Julie Sherman Wolfe. Do you know this story?
No.
She met with Julie Sherman Wolfe in a bar and was like, hey, I want to make this happen. And Julie was like, okay, but we need another lead Hallmark actress. And the way Ashley tells it is Ali walked by. So they must have been at some Hallmark thing, I'm assuming. And they were like, hey, Ali, do you speak another language? And she was like, Spanish. And Ashley was like, it's set in Barcelona. So it works, right? I
was so hoping that this was a conversation that took place on the cruise. Unfortunately, Ali Sweeney was not on our cruise. So
I know.
Bummer. Okay, but go ahead.
But I thought they did a really nice job making Barcelona its own character. The setting really had a chance to shine. It wasn't Barcelona as shot in Bulgaria. I mean, it was Barcelona in Barcelona, and I think the location really shines in the movie.
Stunning. I want to shout out Ron Oliver. There were some really beautiful scenes. There's one where our characters, Erica and Anna, I think they're in some sort of cathedral or something. I don't know, but it's tight on their face, and then at the end of the scene it pulls back and they're just, this beautiful stained glass is behind them. It's stunning. It was so stunning. And to piggyback on your comment, I think as someone who doesn't speak Spanish, I thought they really did a nice job weaving in Spanish and English throughout the script. It felt authentic and, most importantly, respectful to me. And they didn't just like throw in like some phrases just to give it like that flavor. Like there were, Erica and Nico are having a conversation in Spanish and she's translating like what he's saying so the viewer could understand. I just thought it was really well done.
I agree. I think it was important for the movie to do it that way. Your authentic is the right word.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well. Speaking of Julie Sherman Wolfe, we've been big fans of hers for a long time. Since like the very beginning when we started our podcast. She was, if you don't know, was our first guest. I think she gets it. Like,
yeah,
she writes with a lot of humor, and I loved all the little zingers like throughout this script.
Totally.
For example, I mentioned it up top, the Nancy Meyers line, loved it so very much. When Anna, she's so silly. She's trying to say gracias, but she's like, I'm trying to do that whole TH thing.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed. I just thought there was a lot of clever writing, and I enjoy it. That's what I like in my Hallmark movie.
I agree. I have a couple smaller likes. I like the way the story was revealed in the beginning. That's a nod to Julie Sherman Wolfe's writing. Like the way we get the back and forth of Erica and Anna's character, and we know there's something going on with Erica, but we don't know what it is. And the reveal that Erica rewrote the book upon translating it, I really loved that. I loved the twist. It felt like the kind of book I would read. Like I would read a book with that plot and I'd be all in on it. And then a couple little rapid fire likes. Allie rapidly cleaning when Nico comes over, super relatable.
Yes.
Anna's selfies are actual selfies. Like they look, instead of like pretending to take a selfie and then they throw in some non-selfie shot. Great. And finally, there's a really interesting shot when Erica is discovering Anna's food writing, and we see a video of Anna walking and talking, but we hear the voice in Erica's voice because she's reading it on the computer. It's a really cool, interesting choice of a shot.
Yeah, I thank you for pointing that out. I noticed that too, and I was like, that's so smart. So smart. We didn't really mention it, but can we talk about Ashley Williams and Alison Sweeney for a minute?
Yeah.
First of all, Ashley Williams is my sunshine queen.
Yeah.
I will fight you, not you, Megan, but I will fight anyone listening if they're even going to bring any negativity to Ashley Williams. I love her. I love the optimism she brings to this character. And I dare anyone to try and dull her sparkle. I think she's amazing. Not just because we had her on the show, because we really enjoyed our conversation with her that day.
Yeah, she was great.
But I loved her as Anna too. And I know there's a lot of pushback. I read the criticism about her as this character of Anna. I liked it. I'm sorry. I liked it. I thought that the character of Anna was both, hear me out, a little unself-aware, but also deeply self-aware in like the most human way a human operates. Like it really resonated with the fact that like she realizes, we're seeing it in real time, that like she's not a good novelist, right? And what she is good at, she doesn't really want to do because it's not who she has become as an adult.
Not who she thinks she is. Yeah.
Yes. And it was too hard for her to imagine pivoting. I felt that it was very relatable.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Ashley Williams' character in my wishes, and it's not a knock on her. It's not a knock on the character at all. But you're right. I do think she's relatable. I do think the idea that she is living her life one way because she has come to believe that that is who she is supposed to be. But it's not really A, what she's good at, or B, what she wants to be doing. She just is kind of going through the motions. I think it's relatable, especially we're going to talk about it at her age.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very realistic to be like, oh shit, what am I doing with my life?
Right. I agree. That's why it totally resonated with me. I just loved it. Allie, I thought she was great. I actually really liked Allie Sweeney in this role. Speaking, because we often only see Allie as Hannah Swenson, and we saw Allie last holiday season in that Crystal Lowe movie where she was like playing that separated on their way to divorce couple with Niall Mater. And she was really good in that role too. She's a really good actor. I wish we saw her in more outside of Hannah Swenson.
Yeah, this character actually reminded me of her character Tracy from The Wedding Veil. Tracy is the least idealistic of the three. She has the dry humor. She's the realist. She's the one I relate to the most in that trilogy. And I felt like I saw notes of that character here. I think she's a little bit of a realist. She's a little bit of a pessimist. Her humor is real dry, real relatable. She tells it like it is to Anna when she's like, you got to get your head in the game. Like this, you're not the only one with something on the line here. I really loved her character, and she's the one that I relate to more of the two of them.
Okay, but with that said, I did think she kind of rolled over sometimes to Anna. Especially when it came to Nico. Anna gives her the opportunity. Anna asks her straight out, are you into Nico? Those are not the words. What's the word I'm looking for here? Paraphrasing. It's a missed opportunity. She could have said, yes, I'm interested in him. And I believe that Anna would have backed off.
I 100% agree with you. I think she had written this story in her head, Erica, that she and Nico were just friends and that's all she wanted. And so regardless of how she felt, I think she felt like it didn't matter because he had told her, we're just friends. So it didn't feel worth it to her to pursue that. Like, why am I going to tell Anna to back off if I don't actually have a chance with him?
Got it. I get it. I get it. Can we move on to our wishes? Because I have some big thoughts on Nico.
Okay.
They're not huge, but the pivot he makes from Anna to Erica at the end feels icky to me.
Yeah, it's weird how all in he is on Anna to me.
Right.
When he's then saying like, no, I guess you could take the Anna one as just being very surface. Like he was moved by her words, but her words were actually Erica's words. So he was actually being moved by Erica's words. He never had an actual connection with Anna. She doesn't even have a real conversation with him. It's all through Erica.
Right.
And so I guess if you look at it from that perspective, that all that time with Anna, he was really with Erica.
I feel like almost he had like romanticized what Anna would be like through the book.
Yeah, for sure.
So she comes and he's like, oh, I'm into her just simply because of like what she's written, right? Mm-hmm. And that felt weird to me too. Like I just was like, what is happening here? And then when he realizes that Anna's not the one who wrote the book, but it was Erica, and he's like, oh, cool, you're the talented one. Now I like you. I didn't like it. I liked him. Like part of me, I was like, oh, this is like the Spanish Clooney, right? Like there was something happening there. Like I'm very handsome. I enjoyed him as Nico was something fun to watch, but I don't know. It just felt rushed in so many ways.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'd like to read a review from IMDb.
Is this a wish?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's titled Two Old Mothers in Barcelona.
Yes, I read it.
This movie would have been interesting if the two leads were not in their 40s, running around Barcelona as if they were in their 20s. Perhaps Hallmark is turning into the senior citizen programming channel. I will not be watching part 2 in the future. Okay.
Let's break it down.
Stop.
Let's break it down.
There's more. First of all, I take issue with so much of this. I'm 45. I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I have to be 20 to run around Barcelona and have fun. You finally have disposable income and you can't. Come on. 45-year-old people can have fun too, y'all. Secondly, 45 is not a senior citizen. Thank you very much. Third of all, Hallmark is the senior citizen channel. What are you talking about? Their demo is absolutely 40 to 65. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Really, mostly what I take issue with is none of what these women are experiencing is proprietary to young women. This is not a 20-year-old woman's experience just because they are experiencing romance.
It may have been the same comment or the same review, or it might have been another, but somebody had said that it was unbelievable that these two women would want to then find love and have a family because they're too old.
Come on.
And I just thought it was like,
your life is not over if you are not in your forever relationship in your 40s, people.
For real. The other thing too is like, I have some mixed feelings on it a little bit. I agree like 99% with you. I do have a little bit of mixed feelings. Like I think the story they could have made maybe, well, they did talk about, her name's not Hannah. In my head, I keep wanting to call her Hannah.
Erica, yeah.
Erica. They made Erica have, she had followed some dude to Barcelona or whatever, right? And then it didn't work out. Like they could have made one of them like divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe that checks that box for the viewer who's bothered by their age. You know what I mean?
No one's complaining about the actor who plays Nico, who is 48 years old.
Yeah, no.
No one's complaining about him.
Because people hate women.
I know.
Megan.
I know. Speaking of hating women, I saw a lot of complaints about Ashley Williams in this movie. And that's not what I'm going to do here, but I do have a wish about her character. And it is that I hope we see some growth from her in the second movie. Because I think in this movie, as discussed, she doesn't fully know who she is. She doesn't know who she is in her job. She falls for this man who she actually doesn't have a connection with because she is at no point being herself. There's just a Spanish romance on vacation, handsome man, but that's it. I just want to see in the next movie where I think we're going to see, perhaps I'd be shocked if she doesn't have her own romantic interest in the next movie. I just want to see her come into herself, understand who she is, and see a fuller picture of who she is in the next movie.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting how the next movie plays out. Because what's going to happen with Erica, you know?
Well, Nico's in the next movie, so
I know.
I don't know. I don't know what the storyline's going to be there. You know, probably something food related, right? She's going to meet someone in her food adventures.
I thought it was going to be the bestie guy, like the Mateo guy. That's who I thought.
Mateo's gay and in a relationship with a man.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but they go on a date. They go out.
How did I miss that?
Erica and Nico and Mateo and the other guy whose name I don't know. Why? Because it's not credited on IMDb. And we realize that Mateo and the other guy are into each other. And Nico's like, I always thought you were into Mateo. And she was like, he goes, I see now that could not have been the case.
Fully missed it.
Yep.
What a dummy. God. Sorry, I'm a bad movie reviewer. Okay, but wait, I have to pull up the movie poster for the next movie because I swear this is Mateo in this picture.
It might be. He might facilitate.
Miguel Broca, Brocca. Is that who played Mateo?
No.
Oh.
Mateo is played by Javier Santos.
Okay, well, there is another dude.
Yeah.
My bad. I totally thought this was Mateo, and then God, I feel like such a dummy. Oh well, okay.
Are you ready for Did You See That?
I am.
I have just a few little things. One, you made a point about Julie Sherman Wolfe's lines. I absolutely loved her publisher asking her if she had seen the Goodreads review for her book. And she was like, you told me never to look at Goodreads. Laughed out loud at that one.
Because you're a Goodreads user.
Yeah. And never read the reviews. Never read the comments, you know? I thought it was great.
Don't you write reviews on there?
No, never.
Never?
No.
I thought you did.
Never. I don't rate books on there. I don't write reviews on there. I just record the books I have read on there at the end. Did the supermarket scene give you I would like to exchange an egg from early 90210?
It absolutely did. Yep. Abso-freaking-lutely.
That's a real deep cut if people are not 90210 fans.
If you didn't grow up in the early 90s and watch Beverly Hills 90210, you don't get the reference.
You're not two senior citizens like we are.
Yeah, two old moms.
Also, there is a line in the movie, laughter is contagious, optimism is a choice. Do you know who wrote that line?
Julie Sherman Wolfe?
No, Paul Campbell. They texted her. They needed a real zinger of a line. Ashley Williams posted it on TikTok. She and Allie are in hair and makeup talking about it. And Paul Campbell came through with that line via text.
Oh, that's cute.
Finally. I was looking at the description of the Mia Moore podcast with Allie Sweeney and Ashley Williams. And the description says, join Allie Sweeney and Ashley Williams for unfiltered laugh-out-loud conversations as they travel across the world to make 2 rom-com TV, those words in all caps, movies together. Rom-com TV. They specifically do not say Hallmark. Don't you find that interesting?
Sort of. Tell me why you find it interesting.
Well,
they're trying to not say Hallmark because people are going to see that and go, oh, I don't want to watch that. Or I don't want to
Hallmark will get mad at them. That's my concern. That's my, that's like, why would you specifically not say Hallmark? I just find it interesting.
I don't know.
What do you got?
Interesting. It goes back to one of Ashley Williams' selfies as Anna. Mm-hmm. There's somebody behind the counter and she's taking a picture of them. And when you see her snapping the picture, the person is like waving, but then you see the picture and the person's giving like a peace sign.
Oh,
that's a true. Did you see that?
That's a true. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Would you rate this movie?
I gave it 4 stars. I think it's easily one of the best we've seen all year. Granted, there has not been many, but
yeah, February was a good month, but I gave it 3.75 stars. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, do us a favor, leave us a 5-star rating and even a written review. You can do that in the Apple Podcast app on your phone. And we'll be back with more Hallmark reviews next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.